everybody. We're going to do a question and answer as soon as Sue gets out here. She said she had to go run a comb through her hair. To wear a hat. It's, don't know what time it is. I find myself getting up earlier down here, probably because I'm sleeping so good. It's cooler here than it is in Florida. The nighttime temperature last night got down to, I think, around 62 or so. Good sleeping weather, huh? Yeah, we had the windows open. And I haven't had to run the air conditioner down here. I haven't had to run the furnace down here. I got a little bitty ceramic space heater that I carry, only because I don't boondock, I'll say, that much. I do when I'm traveling, like from point A to point B. If it's a 2-day trip, that I might boondock here and there. Like coming down here, I use Harvest Host a lot. I'm not a big Walmart fan. A lot of guys do that. I shouldn't say Walmart parking, but a lot of them do go to Walmart or Lowe's or any of those kind of places. I'm just not big on it. I have stayed at the Cabela's. They are very welcoming to RVers at Cabela's. The problem with Cabela's and another sporting goods store I was at is it seems like everybody in a diesel pickup truck, I can park out in the middle of the parking lot, 100 miles away from everybody, and anybody in a diesel pickup truck wants to come out and park next to me, and then they sit in their truck and talk on the phone and play games or whatever they're doing for an hour with their truck sitting there running next to me, and usually their exhaust pipe is pointed right at my motorhome, so sometimes the exhaust fumes comes in the windows if they're open. And so, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of going to Cabela's either. So I think I'm going to end up being one of those guys that I'll be Harvest Host, campground. Harvest Host, campground. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I know a lot of guys, that's not their style of camping. But for us, it seems like it's, how do I put it? It's a comfortable way, and I feel safe. Yeah, I feel safe at almost every campground I've ever been to, because I don't go to shabby, off the wall. I just don't. If I go in and everything, you know what I'm talking about. If I see trailers in there with a tarp over the top of it, I'm out of here. I'm not staying there. Or if I go into a campground where I see dogs tied to a tree, I'm out of here. I'm not staying there either. I stay at the better campgrounds. I know a lot of people don't or can't afford it, but that's what I do. So when Sue gets out here, we're going to start our question and answer of the day. First question comes from Paul Dininger, something like that. Yeah. Says, first I wanted to thank you. Will you quit it? Got the dog here. She thinks I'm dinner. First, I wanted to thank you for all your videos. We love them, and I've learned so much from them. We're visiting for a short visit next month and wondered, are the model homes open to the public to visit, or do you have to have an appointment and go with a salesperson? We're only going to be there for, let me see, we're only there for a weekend on this trip, but we'll have more time in May when we visit again. Yeah, a weekend ain't much. But I'll give you my answer, and then Sue will tell you probably what's real. My answer is, Village just doesn't care who you are, they just want your money. So the model homes are probably open to anybody. Anybody that drives in a car, if you know where they're at, you just go out there and park and walk in. They used to have, in the Finney area years ago, we went to one once, and they had like a whole block of homes. And you could go walk down the street and walk in any one of the houses, and then you had choices to make. You could buy them fully furnished with furniture, or you could buy them without furniture. And then if you wanted a price on any of the homes, there was always a sales agent working those model homes, and they would give you information for the homes you were interested in. So that's the long and short. You don't need a salesperson to take you there. You don't have to have an appointment.
If you know where they're at.
If you know where they're at.
Yeah.
If you don't know where they're at, I would suggest call the sales offices and say you want to go through the model homes. Where are they? And they're probably going to tell you where they're at. But I can tell you this, if you've never been here, the new home areas down there most of them are not on your GPS. So you'll have to have directions how to get there. So if you don't know where they're at, call the model homes and they'll direct you there.
And there's so many of them. I don't know how they do them now, whether they do them a neighborhood at a time or one or two at a time, but usually a realtor is assigned a certain amount of homes. But they do have realtors available 7 days a week. So if you come in on a Friday, don't worry about it, because you'll be able to find somebody on Saturday and Sunday. And I really recommend that you do see the new homes with a realtor, because there's so many questions. With a used home, you usually have some idea of different things in the home, but with a new home, like I said, you pretty much have to rely on what the realtor says about certain things, or us, one or the other. But I would suggest you get one, and you don't have to go with them to where you take your whole day. You want to spend some time doing fun things, but if you think there's a couple houses that you'd be interested in, yeah, I would call a realtor, and it has to be, for the new homes, it has to be a village realtor, not the outside realtors. It has to be a village realtor. Okay, you got another question?
Yeah, that's true. On new homes, a lot of people don't understand it, and truthfully, that's just the way it is. If you want to buy a brand new home, you have to do business with the village's developer and his real estate company. That's it. He does not do business with outside realtors. He doesn't have to.
Morning.
He's not. What is that? What listings did all the realtors go under?
MLS.
MLS. He dropped out of that a long time ago. The only thing an outside realtor can sell you is a pre-owned home, but they can't sell you a brand new home.
All right, Boo Boo, you want to get down? Bother Daddy.
I got a lot of comments. I haven't really went through any of them.
You should prepare for these. We're kind of loving the outdoor life here. It's really nice. We're in a really great area.
You just tell us different type of weather.
It is, like I said, because I haven't seen the sun but once. But it's not cold. It's just
overcast
cloudy
all the time. Everywhere you get up. This morning it was foggy.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is their normal weather for this time of year or not, but I'm missing the sun, kinda. So hopefully it'll straighten out. It's supposed to be warm all week, so maybe there'll be a sun peeking through here shortly. That's one thing I like about Florida. Every time I go back to Indiana, like I said, for about 2 or 3 days, I miss the sun.
Dee Dee made a comment and says I made a video about the expansion that they announced for the next 20 years. It's a 20-year expansion.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to have to worry about it. But it says that planned expansion sounds more like a congested metropolitan area, not a village. New slogan: if you like the village of New York City, you would like the villages. Well, yes and no. I mean, it is getting bigger. There's no doubt. Do I like it? I'm not in charge. I don't particularly like it either. So you'll be the first to tell you. I complain about the traffic in the wintertime all the time. I don't even like to drive a car. I take my golf cart everywhere, and I even complain about the golf cart drivers because there's too many of them out there, because the golf cart trails have got roller skaters on it, and bikers and golf carts and walkers and kids playing football, and I mean it's nuts, and I don't care for it, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I pretty much just stay home and do stuff around the house and wait for the snowbirds to go back up north, and then it's back to normal again. But that being said, the villages is like pockets of neighborhoods all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big metropolitan area. It's big enough to be at 140,000 people. That's a lot of people. And like I said, you don't think of a retirement area as that many people. Like I said, we've got 3 cities basically, and about to have the 4th. And every city has, they have certain areas. And like I said, we have different areas for, I don't know, people that do sports. They like to be around certain areas like the baseball fields, the softball fields. They have people that do, what?
You have a brain fart?
I do that every once in a while. Yeah, just different sports. You know, you want to live around what you like to do and whatever. But those neighborhoods they're just small towns. It seems like, although the town itself is very large. There's several villages in each town area.
Yeah, I live in the village of Hillsboro, and I think I know 2 guys in the village of Dunedin that's just like across the street. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, the Dunedin people do their thing. The Hillsboro people kind of do our thing. And it's not because we don't like the people in Dunedin or anything. It ain't true at all. It's just it's a neighborhood kind of thing. They have their driveway parties. We have our driveway parties. They have their Cards Day probably. We have our Cards Day probably. Yeah. And they have a swimming pool, and we have a swimming pool, and so it's just kind of that way. I mean, they can come to our pool, no problem at all, and we can go to their pool, no problem at all. It's just that in 90% of the cases, it just isn't done that way. Everybody just kind of stays in their own little playground. Stop it!
All right.
Dog drives me nuts. Carol Apostolos.
Hi, Carol.
I think I'm saying that correct. She's been a subscriber of ours for a long time. Long time. And I might say I think she's a Patreon member too, or he. It could be a man. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not picking on you. Carol is a man or a girl. I don't know. But anyway, and I think on Wednesday Night Live, didn't they win something on a Wednesday Night Live show?
No, I lost. Oh. I said I was playing for her and I lost. I'm sorry. Or him.
If we don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's a girl.
It probably is. They were talking about, I made a video. Apparently I said something once again that I'm not aware of. But if I said it, I meant it.
Gee, surprise.
I probably said stuff. Says, Skip Smith, you are right. It's a choice. Some of us prefer rules since it keeps neighbors from destroying other people's house values. So apparently I must have made a statement about the different rules, district rules. And I always tell people all the time, before you buy a home, get a copy of your district rules and see if you can live with them, because if you can't, just don't buy there, because that's the rules. And if you break rules, they have ways of correcting them. And you know, they're probably not fun. They'll just make you mad. But
and it's not fair to your neighbors.
No, and I like the rules. Do I agree with all the rules? No, I don't. But I like the rules because of that reason right there. When you come into the villages and you drive around, if you've never been there, then you really don't know. And if you want to make a comment about how great my house is in Nebraska and we love it, blah, 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 well, that's fine. You love Nebraska. But Nebraska way of living isn't the village's way of living. It's a different lifestyle. And they've always said when you buy a home in the villages, this thing keeps following my face around. I've never seen that before.
I don't know. It was on mine a while ago.
Huh. Let me poke it again. Poke you. Yeah. So anyway, it does. Everything is it looks copacetic. Is that the word? Copacetic? Whatever it is. Anyway. You go in there, everything looks nice and neat, everything looks nice and trimmed, everything is just clean, and that's the big thing about the villages, everything is clean. People take pride in their homes now down here because of the way things are. You don't see kids walking around throwing gum wrappers on the ground. You just don't see that. Yeah. So I like it because of that reason. I'm not losing value of my home. I don't have somebody living next door to me that decided he wanted to paint his garage door, you know, John Deere green, and you know, or have an old car in a driveway that he covers with a tarp because he's working on it. You know, that guy that's always fixing the car, and he's had it for 20 years and it's still sitting out in the yard. You don't do that here. It can't happen. So, well, I shouldn't say that. It could happen. But one neighbor's going to complain, and then you're going to have to clean it up, and you're going to be mad. And so I'm saying, if you can't live with the rules, then you just don't want to be here. But I'm going to say this: it ain't just us. People point at the villages because we're the biggest. You go to about any of these retirement communities around us anyway, they all have basically the same rules. You can't have junky cars in the driveway. You can't have unlicense plated cars in the driveway. You know, there's just certain things you have to live by. But I would think somebody 65 years old living in a retirement community wouldn't be doing that kind of stuff anyway. That's just my opinion.
Okay, next question.
I don't know where it is.
You're always so prepared.
I'm never prepared.
I know.
Will you stop it? They all know me by now.
Yeah.
Comment. This is probably on my. Oh, Sue wanted me to make mention yesterday. Just dawned on me. She said because we're not home right now, we're traveling. Well, we're really not traveling. We're in Rockport, Texas, and I'm going to be here until the 1st of April, and then after here, then I'll be moseying back to the villages.
But we're not putting out the videos that we
No.
normally do.
We're not putting out village videos. You're not going to see golf cart rides. You're not going to see restaurant reviews. I do have some from Sue and Deb that I will be posting, but you won't be seeing them regularly, like every day of the week or anything, because we're just not there. But you can go down to our files. There's all kinds of files listed. Let me see if I can find them here real quick.
Now, on my phone, you poke on his face. That's how you get to the home page. Is you poke on his face, and it'll bring up a bunch of pictures, and it'll tell you how many videos of travel videos, how many Christmas videos, how many of the Two Forks Up videos. It'll tell you how many there is, and like when I think they have like 5 listed, and then there'll be an arrow at the bottom, and you click on that arrow, and it'll bring up more.
Can you guys see this? Let me poke this here. I'm on my home page now. Can I turn sideways? Maybe better. Where am I at? I can't hardly see in the screen. Anyway, when you go to the home page here, that's me standing in front of Lake Sumter right there. There's choices up here, right across there. One of them says playlist. It says playlist. Poke playlist, and then all kinds of files come up. See all these files here? And there's some more over here somewhere. Poke that button there. See, and there's some more of them. More files. So you can go to the playlist, and there's all kinds of things separated, like Deb and Sue's Two Forks Up files in there of all the restaurants they reviewed. There's question and answers that goes back, I don't know how far, and the news and home tours. There's a lot of home tours.
There are also videos of what we did to our home.
Yeah, there's the videos of what we did to
but
our home.
archives
Actually,
have...
what she did to our home. I didn't do anything.
No, I hired the guy. But like I said, we have a lot in our archives that you can look at while we're gone. And the videos are still on there. Some of them may be a little outdated, but most are good as gold. And I said, if you haven't been to the archives, I suggest you go look at some of those, and you can see some of the things since we've been living in the villages, some of the things that we've done and seen, and I think you'll get an eyeful, truthfully.
Okay, I think that's enough question and answer. I don't want these videos to go over 8 or 10 minutes because most people don't have the patience for it. So anyway, we're going to get out of here, and I'm going to do some news so I can have it and get ready to post it. And those of you that might be interested, join Patreon for us. I put videos on Patreon early a lot of times for them. They get them sometimes a week earlier than you do. And then there's some videos I put on Patreon that you don't ever see. A lot of, I won't say a lot, but there's some drone footage that I take, and I put it on Patreon, but I don't put it on YouTube. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, join Patreon.
Do you have any Patreon openings left?
Any what?
Any Patreon openings?
Yeah, I
left?
opened 5 more because I kept getting a lot of complaints about it on the $10 a month level. And I think there's only like 3 left, maybe, something. You have to go there and look. There's a $2 a month level, and it's unlimited, you know. So for a couple bucks a month, you know, you can see a few things. And I'll be honest with you, I do treat my Patreon members differently than I do YouTube. I shouldn't say that, probably. It's not that I'm treating them better or anything. I'm not. But if I get a Patreon message, I have a tendency to go to them right away. Yeah. And whatever they want, if they're asking for me to send them a newspaper or something to help them get some information, I go out of my way to try to do that for them. On YouTube, I really can't do that much because I got over almost 6,000, I think now. And if everybody wanted me to send them a newspaper, I'd have to take out a bank loan, you know. So anyway.
Oh, and the people that won on our Wednesday night
Yeah, I've
live,
got the stuff
we are going to the mailbox today
today.
and get that stuff mailed out. We promise. We
Yeah.
promise. Oh, and hi, Deb. I miss you.
I got stuff in there. It's labeled, it's packaged, it's ready to go. I just got to get to the post office and get it dropped off. I was going to do it the other day, and then somebody told me, "Oh, well, the post office closes at 11:30." What? It opens like at 7 and closes at 11:30?
You're not in Kansas anymore, kiddo.
I want that job. So anyway, we're going to get out of here and cut some news. So until then, we'll see you guys on the other side.